Hello there, everyone. You know who I am, ETTemplar, Supreme Misfit Professional Dipshit, and this is just my 2 cents on Citizen Vigilante. It is a spiritual kind of similarity to if you've ever seen the Death Wish movies. That's pretty much what it is, only a Uwe Boll take. Now, I personally love Uwe Boll's movies. I think they have a certain charm to them. I like the way how he just does characters in movies. Now, a lot of cinema snobs are like, he's the worst director ever. Like, fuck that. This guy likes to make movies and likes to just have fun with it. He's like a Corbin, right? I forgot the guy's first name, but Corbin also made very schlocky, campy movies in similar veins, but for his time. And what this movie is, a lot of people are freaking out about it politically. It is no different than the Death Wish movies. It's no different than literally any Marvel, the Punisher movie. The only difference is that the main character takes out some migrants and related people who are responsible for rape and victimizing people. And even if you were to remove just the migrant idea of that these are like immigrants from the Middle East, right? You could still see this movie and be like, yeah, it's just about a vigilante taking out trash, garbage, and human filth. And that's basically what the movie is. It's not like this big like they're really blowing up this movie to be like, oh, it's gonna cause violence, it's gonna insinuate violence. The same people, mind you, who've been pushing pro-communist, pro-socialist bullshit since the 1960s or 1930s, 1940s, right? We're talking about Hollywood here that pushes every fucking degeneracy under the sun, every other filth and vile thing under the sun. But when one Uwe Boll makes a movie that's leaned slightly to the right, all of a sudden, Germany starts banning the movie. You know, the Germans, oh yeah, we have freedom of speech here, yeah? No, you don't, because you just banned the fucking movie. And of course, there's going to be other European nation states that follow suit because Europe, that's just what they do. There is no freedom of speech in their fucking country. If you look at the United Kingdom, right, they've arrested like, what, 1,200 people? And that was just last time I checked over Facebook posts. So what it boils down to, let's just talk about the movie. Again, it is a Uwe Boll movie. You know what to expect from Uwe Boll. It's going to be schlocky, it's going to be ultra-violent, it's going to be entertaining, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun watch. Regardless of cinematography and the razzle-dazzle of how he shoots the movie, this one, it's an Uwe Boll movie. You know what to expect, and I hope he kills it. I hope he has enough buckets and crates to store that money. And even if, let's say, Uwe Boll touches upon this as a way to make money, how is that any different from these fucking leftists and Marxists making diatribe dribble? Like, was it one battle after another? Yeah, you remember that one that essentially calls for revolution against the United States, ICE, and the military and police? Yeah, you remember that fucking movie that's a pro-Antifa, like, pro-revolutionary movie? Now, see, they were all okay with that, but as soon as Uwe Boll, again, makes one that's slightly, you know, to the right, or even hard right, however you want to believe, like, spin it, all of a sudden, you know, we've got problems with freedom of speech now. Oh, the movies might influence people's actions. Again, this is coming from the most vile, degenerate fucks on this side of, like, perdition, right? If you look at what Harvey Weinstein did, I mean, he forced people to have sex with him. And if you guys don't know about Hollywood, usually how you get roles is usually you have to be involved in sexual-related favors, whether the butt or the mouth or whatever, right? That's how Hollywood works. They exploit people sexually. They exploit people through blackmail, right? And the levels of just absolute moral fagging I see about this movie, it's like, oh, it's politically extreme. It is so rich coming again. This can't be stated enough. Coming again from the most vile group of people than the face of the earth has ever seen. And that's not even considering some of the other conspiracies that some of these sick Hollywood fucks are into. Child sacrifice, murder. And again, it's just ironic how all of a sudden now we have a problem with different types of movies just because Uwe Boll makes kind of a shitpost movie involving a vigilante taking out illegal or migrant criminals that violently rape and murder people. Like, all of a sudden we now have an issue with vigilantism, and that, now that it's not written in a way that goes according to the leftist ideologue. So that's what it is. This movie, again, I would say it's above average. I watched it. I bought it on YouTube. I liked it. Again, I fucking love Uwe Boll. I loved the Far Cry movie. I loved his Blood Rain movies. Even his Rampage movies I didn't like. They were entertaining. And that touches on some very, like, shit that make me mad politically. But I found them entertaining, fun movies. And again, I think Uwe Boll is kind of a genius when it comes to that, and I think that's why people hate him. Is he'll make these movies you know will piss people off, like he made the Rampage movies. I think that during a time when there's a lot of mass like shootings and shit. So Uwe Boll is kind of this clever wizard when it comes to having a pulse and utilizing and basing his movies around just opportune times when there's political turmoil. Now, again, whether if he does that just to make money on hand, but this movie, I really didn't get that from him. I think this is one of the most efforts he's put into a movie as far as how it's shot and how it played out. So I think he's serious about his political. And what this movie really is, if people would stop and listen and weren't fucking knee jerk reacting. The movie is a warning to the West that even though there are, migrant violence, it's really a warning to the West and everyone that there could be a very real chance of shit like this happening because of the inaction of the justice system, because of the inaction of the courts and police and law enforcement this movie, kind of, when you think about it, it's not exactly that he's saying or he's pushing for violence against migrants. He's just saying from the basic human nature. This movie starts off with a quote where it says, if justice is denied, then vengeance becomes instinct. So it's more of just from boiled down to a simple human level. And, again, it's not much different than those movies with John Curzon. I can't believe I forgot the name. Death Wish. It's not much different from Death Wish. The only thing that's different is that this movie accidentally, kind of touches down on a very sensitive topic for Bolshevik Marxist scum and filth. And they don't like that Uwe Boll can make a movie about it. And let's be honest, that's really what it is. And the funny thing about this, for all the political left-leaning and like leftist ideologues that are shitting their pants over this movie, if you guys would have just shut the fuck up about it, this movie would have been dead on arrival. It would have been dead. But now, because you guys made such a big fucking shit fit about it, it's kind of Streisand effect. And now me, who usually doesn't buy movies, I bought it because I was like, hey, if it pisses these people off, fuck yeah, I'm going to support it. And secondly, again, as I already said, I already love Uwe Boll movies. I think they have a charm to them, much like Corbin films, right? So, you guys have essentially, gassed this movie up. And I hope Uwe Boll makes enough money that he doesn't have enough room to store it in his house. And Uwe Boll, if you come across this, less likely, but God bless, man. Again, a big fan of your movies. Keep at it. And if we could get like a Far Cry 2 or like a Far Cry Instincts movie, that would be great. Or another Blood Rain movie, that would be fucking killer. Thanks, Chief. And really, that's what it's about. And it's gotten like a 9.4 on Rotten Tomatoes. And of course, all the usual suspects are one starring it, half starring it. It's the worst movie ever, right? It's like, oh, fuck off. There's been worse movies out there. Let's be real. So Uwe Boll is kind of a genius, and he's getting all kinds of free publicity for it, and you have to tip the hat to the guy for that. And it's what has people mad about is it speaks the truth, and that's really what it is. People are being introduced and shown a truth that they're not comfortable with, right? Oh, what's the term? Oh, inconvenient truth. That's really what it is. And that's what pisses people off. It's like when people get offended at the cross, right, or the Templar flag. Really what it is their conscience is pricked because they see that and like, right. And that's kind of what this movie also has done. It's putting, the very real even though it's a fictional story, it's bringing out the very real problems that's going on in the West, in Germany and Croatia and the West in general with these migrants, right? Because they're not assimilating. They're bringing their, again, like in the movie says, their archaic religious culture with them. And it's ending in the result of victimized women, men, and children. And that's the one truth that is undeniable. Even though, London likes to arrest people and jail people for speaking that. And that's really what it is. So Citizen Vigilante, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. If you're a fan of Vigilante movies, you'll love the shit out of this. If you're a fan of schlocky Uwe Boll, you'll love this movie. If you've watched any of other, Uwe Boll's movie, again, you'll like him. And that's about it. There's really nothing to this movie, aside from the fact that people have blown it up and gassed it up to a point that it's now a success. So again, let's be fair here. Thank you, liberals and Democrats, and cultural Marxists and leftoids for making such a shit fit about this, for making it such a Streisand effect, and for bringing it to the forefront of society. You've only done our job for us here on the hard right or nationalistic, slant of things. So thank you guys. You're doing our job. We didn't even have to do shit. You guys advertised it. You said how shitty it was. You said how politically inflammatory it was. And you got people to go out there, mainly people like me, to buy it and watch it and be like, yeah, Uwe Boll, cool.
Money. We gotta make some money.
The sky whispers.